to Liberia, where the drums still play my song. Take me back to my homeland. It's the place where I belong.
LIB Future TV, giving voice to progressive Liberians, speaking about politics, entertainment, and local news.
All right, so we'd like to say a pleasant good evening, good afternoon to you wherever you watching from and however you following us. This is Kia Radio and the program you're in tune to LIB Future TV here on 95.9. Today your host is Joseph Parkus. Right? I got it anywhere. Joseph Parkus. I can only make it menu. Oh, I'm sorry, Joseph Parkus.
Yeah.
So Joseph Papus is your host today.
Joseph Papus Coleman.
Papus Coleman. Yeah. Okay, Nico. Mr. Coleman, welcome, bro. Welcome to today's edition.
Thank you very much, Jefferson. It's a pleasure to be on the show. While you are listening or watching, you are live on LIB Future TV with your host today, Joseph Coleman. We got a couple of issues on our decks today. But before we can go through all of those trendy topics, we will first go over to Lovetta. Lovetta, how are you doing?
I think, Lavetta, are you there?
Lovetta, are you there?
I'm doing good, Joseph.
Okay.
How is your day? I didn't see you the whole of the day.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
when you are listening, you are welcome to LIB Future TV with Joseph Coleman on this FM dial. Today edition of the show is actually planned to be, it's promising to be very fascinating. We got a couple of issues that we need to be, that need to be discussed today. There are a lot of issues that need to be discussed. But first of all, we'll go over to Lovetta for the news update before we can proceed with the rest of our talking points.
Yes, so I think Lavetta is getting set up before she comes on or while she gets prepared to come on. Like Joseph said, a couple of issues we have to talk about. Too many things been happening in Liberia, in the country of recent, and so a couple of those things we'll talk about. Joseph, what do we have there on the plate, on the menu this evening? What this afternoon for those in diaspora? What do we have today?
We got the first talking point we got on the menu here is qualities of leadership needed to transform Liberia. We have three different qualities. One is experience, two is track records, and three is knowledge. And the second talking point we have to discuss here is CDC George Weah knows soccer but did not transform Liberia and make changes in the proper agenda. Liberia was in poverty before and after Weah. Check on your channel here is JMB, 40 years in government. He only learned how to waste money and corruptions and bring no real results to the table. We jump straight to agriculture. Agriculture, no major farming going on, no goods, no good roads to get goods to market. and we'll take a look at the video of Musa Berete. I don't know which one, whether you people have ever seen that video of Musa Berete in Grand Bassa, where he had to take a motorbike and walk through bridges that were made of logs, trees and logs. No car can car cannot even access that part of Grand Bassa. Yeah. Ukanzo, that is the fifth on our agenda. Rule of law. We'll look at the defraud happening within our justice systems. The defraud. People are frauding frauding and backdating these in this country that is causing serious problem.
Okay.
Yes. Another I got it talking point is the high level of corruption within the court system is very alarming. You come to the education sector, you won't believe that OKFN recently visited a school in this country. They have a single teacher teaching from grade 1 to grade 6. And some of the schools in the rural area, teachers are on strikes. They barely go to class because of either late salary or the adult volunteer workers, or they're not on payroll. There are a lot of things happening within our country that many Liberians don't know about. Our people are suffering, and we need to do something about this as a Liberian. The next issue, I got talking points we got on our agenda here is sanitation. If you look around Liberia, I would say Liberia because every part of Liberia you go, you will see dikes. You will see the trash all around the city, meaning the city, the cities and around, outside the cities, like Douala, Raleigh. I mean, the dikes are all over the place. Center Street, the heart of the city. Our Ugad, our dump site in this country. There is no system put in place to, process the dike. There is nothing like recycling or companies existing or so to, do the needful. Next on our agenda, we have tourism. You do not see any tourism job coming in Liberia. We only see them marching in green on the streets, having conferences, traveling, but no job in the tourist sector. Fellow Liberians, this is very alarming. We can be preaching about how you involve you invest in tourism. One of your major how you got is to investing in tourism, and that identical sector is doomed. Yes. Actually, CDC and Unity Party are 5 and 6. Nothing have changed, fellow Liberians. I would like to give you some brief. A lot of people don't know about ANC political leader Alexander Benedict Cummings. So at this point, I will address you more about him. Yeah. Alexander B. Cummings wants us to lead, build, grow again. He said we will lead the region again in education, healthcare, and industries. He also said we will build and develop the nation and bring 600,000 jobs to the people. If you want to work, 600,000 jobs in Liberia, damn. You have a lot of Liberians and a lot of incomes coming to the country, to the government cover. So, and he also said we will grow our own food, meaning investing in agriculture. So when we're talking about experience, track records, and knowledge, we're speaking of Alexander Cummings. As Chief Administrative Officer and Executive Vice President at the Coca-Cola Company, Ernest Cummings led global functions across 200 plus countries with oversight of multi-billion dollar operations and transformed Coca-Cola Africa by shifting the leadership from 70% of expatriates to 70% African, while significantly increasing profits. Throughout his career, Alexander B. Cummings has demonstrated leadership and experience in human resource, tax, and legal department, finance and budgets, logistics, customer service, marketing, and airplane fleet management, all of which are needed to lead in the future. So with all this criteria that he is competent to lead Liberia to the future that all Liberians dream about. Alexander Cummings also served as Vice President of Finance at the Pillsbury International, where he built global finance systems. Alexander Cummings now leads a private family office investing in infrastructure, energy, agribusiness, and scalable ventures across Africa and the US. Many large corporations across the world consult with Alexander Cummings. A son of Point Four. Now somebody who been living the life outside Liberia, chew up on it. He was not even born in Liberia. This man was born in Liberia. He grew up in one of the slum communities of Liberia, Nyuguta, Point Four. Yes. Alexander Kumi grew up in Point Four with roots in Maryland. The ANC political leader plans to use his vast knowledge and experience to propel Liberia further. Not only has he served as a leader in business, but he is a leading humanitarian. Alexander Cummings is the founder and the chairman of the Cummings Africa Foundation, and he invested millions in education, healthcare, youth development, and women empowerment in Liberia. So those that can be asking what they may have done in this country, what you have done for the Liberian people, all your experience in the corporate sector and all of that. I think you people listening to me. Alexander Cummings is the founder and chairman of the Cummings Africa Foundation and has invested millions in education, healthcare, youth development, and women empowerment. He also drove the Coca-Cola Africa Foundation, contributing to over 100 million in social impacts. Fellow Liberians, you're listening to this man profile. Is he not competent to lead this country to a greater future? For his humanitarian effort, he was honored with the Harmony Order of Africa Redemptions for all a good work he been doing. They honor the whole Africa. You know, you're heading Coca-Cola Africa. They honor him for all that good work. So he's not somebody that, like Jeff on the west side. We then played the video of the University of Liberia's student. I think that will be done by Lisa.
All right, so this is LIB Future
Okay,
TV.
that video will not be played yet.
I guess Lavetta is back.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see if we can go quickly to Lavetta for trending news. Lavetta, welcome. Give us our trending news for today.
All right, good evening to our listeners in Radio Lane, and good evening to those of you watching our Facebook via our Facebook page, LIB Future TV. Today's trending news stories. New rise push arms to tackle Liberia's persistent hunger. Liberia remains among the world's most food insecure nation as the 2025 Global Hunger Index launches this week in Monrovia. With 1 in 3 Liberians undernourished, experts cite heavy reliance on rice imports and low local yields as key drivers of vulnerability. Concern Worldwide says new survey data is guiding a government-led push to boost domestic rice production, drawing lessons from Nigeria. Limited technology, poor roads, weak investment, and climate impacts continue to support. But President reduction a major priority. Women Congress to lead for Menstrual Hygiene Day. The Women Congress of the Alternative National Congress, ANC, will mark International Menstrual Hygiene Day on May 28th by distributing sanitary pads to women and girls from diverse backgrounds. The initiative aims to promote quality hygiene practices and celebrate the dignity of womanhood. Madam Kula Care Zulu, a veteran classroom teacher, said the team plans to visit Margibi, Bomi, Grand Cape Mount, and other counties. Awareness and distribution activities will target school, campuses, markets, buildings, and communities. The ANC does its initiatives differently, as Zulu said, adding that the party will continue to identify with grassroots women because of their essential role in making Liberian society more functional and inclusive. She noted that the ANC has a workable blueprint prioritizing agriculture for parents and unemployed Liberians. Bwaka recalls lawmakers for special section on cash printing budget. President Joseph Yuma Bwaka has called both chambers of the 55th legislature into a special section from April 9 to 23, 2026, citing urgent national matters. The agenda includes proposals to print additional Liberian dollar banknotes and pass a 2026 supplementary budget, which Bwaka says cannot wait until the regular session resumes May 8. The recall invokes Article 32B of the 1986 Constitution. Speculation is also raising over the possible expulsion of Rep. Koluba. Senator Kone woos Indian investors ahead of India-Africa Summit. Bapolu County Senator Amara Kone is in India for high-level meeting in Dhaka, Mumbai, and Hyderabad to attract private investment to Liberia ahead of the India-Africa Forum Summit 2026. A former finance minister and ex-World Bank staff Kone is encouraging policymakers, corporations, and supply chain innovators at the invitation of India's Chamber of Commerce and Industry. He will also meet BRICS Secretariat officials in Dhaka to discuss the African Continental Free Trade Area. University students to stage April 14 protest over Bwaka Kun administration performance. Frustration is mounting among Liberians over the Bwaka Kun administration's handling of key sectors, with university students emerging as some of the most vocal critics. Student groups say they plan to join the campus-based Student Unification Party for short in a protest set for April 14, 2026. Organizers cite what they call underperformance in every major sector and institutionalized failure under the Unity Party-led government. Protesters specifically referring President Joseph Yuma Bwaka, noting his campaign emphasis on experience and argue that current government has not met public expectations. The planned demonstration aims to draw attention to economic conditions, service delivery, and governance concerns that students say directly impact youth and the wider population. SUB has not yet released detail on the protest locations or permits, but student leaders say mobilization is on the way across multiple campuses. Liberia moons Mawata Kuma Lami, Pillar of Hope. Liberia is united in grief following the March 11 passing of Mawata Kuma Lami at St. Joseph's Catholic Hospital in Monrovia. Remember, for resilience, dignity, and entrepreneurship, her death has left a deep void across family and society. Tributes have pulled in from former Vice President Joel Howard Taylor, a veteran journalist, Aaron Colley, and others prominent figures continue to gather at the residence of former Finance Minister D. Maswell Sakemia. Cole denies viral audio leaking George Vice President Kun in Liberia Football Association case. Football stakeholder Cassiel Anthony Kowu has issued a public disclaimer over a viral audio allegedly leaking civil law court George Peter Benewela to Vice President Jeremiah Kwankun in an attempt to influence an Liberia Football Association case. Kowu called the recording false, misleading, and a complete fabrication, alleging his voice was digitally manipulated to damage his reputation and the judicial process. I have never held any conversation or made any claim suggesting that the Vice President contacted the presiding judge, he stated. National Road Fund manager went to address Africa Road Builders Conference in Abidjan. National Road Fund manager Josita Novell will speak at the Africa Road Builders Trophy Babakar inaugural conference 2026 set for April 15 to 19 in Abidjan. Originally planned for Dubai but moved to the Middle East conditions. The event is organized by two routes with MIFA and the African Development Bank. Under the theme Investing in Roads, Investing in Transport for Prosperity in Africa, the conference will focus on infrastructure, financing, and public-private partnerships. Weak traffic enforcement blamed for 71 road deaths in Q1 2026. Liberia recorded 478 traffic accidents in the first quarter of 2026, leaving 71 dead and 309 injured, according to Liberia National Police data. March saw 186 crashes, the quarter highest car-to-car and motorcycle accidents, made up nearly 70% of accidents, with Montserrat County leading at 279 cases. Citizens blame poor enforcement, corruption, and weak oversight, while police admit lapses and promise reforms to improve road safety. NRF inspects Medina Rubber Sport Road for quality transparency. The National Road Fund conducted a 2-day surveillance inspection of asphalt works on the 12.5 km Medina Rubber Sport Road in Rankin County. NRF engineers and internal audit agency review alignment, drainage, culverts, and paving by SSF Entrepreneur Incorporated to ensure engineering and contractual standards. Progress includes vegetation, clearing, subgrade, concrete culverts, 1.825 km of paving, plus sidewalks, curbs, and drainage systems to boost durability and safety. And week of price hikes sparks popular frustration as agencies raise fees across board. Moreover, Liberian face a wave of cost increases this week as several government agencies announced new or higher fees, sparking frustration among citizens. The Liberia Petroleum Refining Company (LPRC) raised gas and fuel prices, while the Liberia National Police increased fees for all police clearance. At the same time, the Liberia Revenue Authority hiked the general sales tax from 12% to 13%. In a move that drew particular attention online, the Liberia National Telecommunication Authority (LNTA) and the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning imposed new license fees targeting everybody and extending up to content creators. The string of increases has triggered public outcry on social media, with many questioning the timing and impact on ordinary Liberians. Those were the latest new updates from Liberia with me, Lovecta Davis.
Yeah, Lafayette, thank you for the news update. That we now dive into discussion of our topics on the discussions. The qualities of leaderships needed to transform Liberia. Experience. One, a leader must be very experienced administratively. You will have to have that administrative experience. That's one. Two, you should have a unique track record. Record that is corruption free. We need that record of corruption free. Third, you should have to have that knowledge, that vision to inspire your nation. Fast thinking leader, very innovative leader. Are what we're talking about. No, those three qualities, if any leader possesses that quality, they are all for good for their nation or their entity they are leading. We come to CDC George Weah. He spent a lot of time playing soccer. He had a lot of international connections. But he administratively, he is not potent. Yes. Because of that, with all international connections and things, he couldn't revive Liberians from poverty. He met them in poverty. He kept them in poverty. He left them in poverty. He could not revive them. Revive us from poverty. I will include myself. Come to JMB, spending 40 years in governance. But I don't know where that experience, that 40 years of working in government experience went. Because we have not seen anything since he took over this country. We have not seen anything. any experience relating to the amount of years he served in government, or rather, we see corruption, wasting of public funds, unnecessary travels with no results. That's all we see. And we as a Liberian, we need to rethink. We don't sit down, y'all fucking, y'all put aside the party thing and all of that. What we really want for this country? How we really? I sometimes wonder, what I would really think that, how you really want to see Liberia in the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, or even the next 10 or 20 years to come. Because if you think in that direction, you will forget about the party thing, because it's not helping us. We are only enriching those people and their family. And it's about time Liberians need to stand up and make the right decisions. We are not to be fooled again by those so-called politicians. Because by the time they take power, they insult us. That only insult you can get from them. Cheek. But boy, I gave her a little cheek in recent time. Gonna making new land. After you seeing your citizen have been made homeless, not coming up to do anything positive to revive that position. Gonna make a new land. Yeah, the people have their land. That's not the kind of Liberia we want. Yeah. Some kind of agriculture, because they rescue government some of the campaign messages were actually based on agriculture. But we see no major farming going on. No good roads, connectivities in the counties that those farmers will be able to take their goods, when they harvest their crops, they'll be able to take it to the city without a spoiling. That one of the main reasons you find out that we have to go Guinea to buy pepper or other things. Yeah, most of the people in the rural area now, they engage in mineral mining instead of farming, because the mineral will not spoil. Yeah. Their role issue, we witness one of our representatives trying to, go through some part of Grand Bazaar and stuff like that. He got stuck. Car couldn't take him to where he was going. He had to ride back. And not just riding back, he got stuck on the way where he had to, walk on a bridge with logs that were made of logs, trees and logs, to have a way to where he was going. The car couldn't reach there. But I would say it is a good experience for him, because he also in the house, and we Liberian, we recognize that those in the house are one of our major problems in the country. They are one of our major problems. So it is a good experience for him. If he, if he mean well for that region, he will try to do something about that road if he is potent enough to do that. They don't come to rule alone. Yeah. Look around us. We found people backdating people deeds, backdating deeds, and coming claiming people lands, making people homeless. Where is our justice system? Where are we heading? Somebody have been they have been on that land for over 40, 50 years. They build a house, they bought that land, they build a house. And then all of a sudden one cheese brown would just come this place from this place to the other place. We all know proper investigations. The court will just order that individual to claim that land and share it with armament to start demolishing people's homes and made those very same people that brought this government to power homeless. It is bad. That's not governance. And the government don't say anything about it. It is actually a bad thing. It is actually a bad thing. No rule of law. The corruption bar is sitting in the center of the court in this country. There is no justice for the poor. Because a serious-minded government will try to evaluate or try to investigate the situation with those land issues. Oh yeah, you claim this land for you. Where were you 40, 50 years ago when these people were buying those land and building houses on it? Where were you? Why you have to wait up to 50 years before coming to reclaim that land? And as a sound government, what you will do is, all right, these people are already built properties on this land. What do you think we're going to do? Let them rebuy. Give them time, they rebuy. But you cannot demolish the property. They invested a lot of money in this. And for any reason, if you are a legitimate owner, let negotiate. That go on the table. That's what our father does. Yes, that's what our father does. So, in situations like this, then the government step in and try to calm the situation down. But rather, our own leader, the man will tell you, say, order making no land. So, yeah, the people have that land.
Yeah, so the thing is, let me deal with quality of leadership first. Every government, it is incumbent upon you to provide a very quality leadership to the people you govern. It is not just because you're being elected as president, and then your government decides whatever the people want. So a quality leadership um, will will make the people to have trust and confidence in you, and your government will start to see the need of the people. It is not just about showing off in any way whatever possible, but for example, let's take for instance education. I listened to a report. One of the things that Lavetta read, one of the stories that she read, talking about education in our country now, Liberia. Education is the sector is still challenging. It is still challenged, for the lack of better words. It is still, you know, challenged, and but it seems like the government is not putting much effort, much time, so that we can get quality education. You go in the rural parts. Liberia is not just Montserrat, it's not just Monrovia. Even in parts of Montserrat, in the rural parts of Montserrat, you see there are people still struggling to acquire quality education. The style of leadership you will present to the people, if you want to, sometimes you prioritize one thing. You say, okay, this budget year or so, let's prioritize education. Let's shift our attention to education. We've seen that this sector is challenged. This sector needs this in terms of qualified teachers, quality teachers, and what have you. Let's give them no teachers in the schools. But how can you have a school from imagine from first, second tier to fourth grade? You have just one person, one instructor teaching three classes, four
So
classes,
sixth grade.
up to sixth grade. I mean, it is just like, I mean, you having an arcade, you know, uh, institution. You're telling people that, well, we should still be in a stone age. We are still living in a stone age when this is a modern era. You go to other countries, you see education is a, I mean, it's a major priority in West Africa and East Africa. So you see, I was listening to a friend of mine told me, I think Eric, yeah, Eric told me in Kenya or so, that the citizens there, they would rather attend public schools than private schools. Why? It's because government is paying more attention to the public institutions rather than, so when you enter a public school, you see libraries. The libraries are up to standard, they're up to date quality. I mean, you see up to date books are there. You see, you enter the lab, the computer or science labs, you see, modern lab equipment. They're all there. But you come to Liberia, how many government schools you see have libraries? How many government schools you see have labs? That's why I see sometimes when these students they go for wax exams. Uh, I mean, the science courses or science subjects they don't do well because the actual thing is supposed to practical labs what they're in school. They're not getting these materials. How can you be in 12th grade and you're doing chemistry? You don't have anything to demonstrate when you go for, I mean, they say let's go for chemistry lab. There's nothing there. If you visit, you went to some of these labs and you see just empty shelves, empty bottles, also no chemicals, nothing. And I mean, so it's just so frustrating that we will have a government, a responsible government that will, I mean, now want to shift attention to education. Then you talk about health. The health sector is still challenged. So the government comes with lots of responsibility. Give the people quality, leadership. I mean, um, service delivery, those present needs that are being met, and then your style of leadership will be visible. You will not need to campaign any longer. The people themselves will see, and they will need no. I mean, they'll have no reasons for going to the streets no reasons for calling on talk shows, and giving excuses or backlashing you. So it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot of things that this rescue government will have to work on. Like, it is the third year now, the third year, the fourth month. It's a whole lot of things that this government will have to work on. Now, look at the recent thing they brought out now. This issue of content creators, charging content creators to pay money now, paying fees for contents, restaurants, bars, and entertainment centers, and what have you.
Excuse me, is that how to do with tourism, right?
Yes, under the tourism. So you see, and then the police, they also now collaborating with the Liberia Revenue Authority, talking about doing online registration or getting police clearance online. Okay, it's a good thing, but I mean, what about the people in the rural parts where there's no internet?
Sure.
How do they access the internet to do that registration online? You should have a system in place where you have quality internet connectivity, where people from the rural parts will be able to have access to these things. Because trust me, even in Monserrato here, rural parts of Monserrato, it is difficult to access the internet. Some parts of Monserrato, it is difficult to access the internet.
Okay.
So people will still find it difficult. And then, moreover, you're increasing the fee. You've added extra charges to the service, to the initiative. It's a good one, yes. Oh yes, everybody wants a modern, system, a system that is digitized, where, because globally the world now technologically has improved. It's improving. So Liberia is no exception to technology.
Yeah.
We should have in fact passed this. But since it's new, first thing, get something done first. Let's tackle internet connectivity. Let's tackle electricity, where these people somebody is in Bokonjide, somebody is in Bapulu, like Bella Fasama, where I went. There's no way, no internet over there. You don't have anything like internet over there. Even if you want to make a call, sometimes, like recently we're in Grand Bassam on Saturday over the weekend, you in Sowata. It's a fine area for tourism, where tourists can come, and they view the sites and do what they want to do there. Something that will also, boost the economy, because once you invest over there, yes, it could open investment for the people over there, but there's no internet connectivity over there. No way to even call. You don't make a call over there. So all through we were there, I received tons of messages and calls, that I could not even, I didn't even know that I had calls coming in, I had messages coming in, until when I got back close to Bicano City, before the messages started coming in. I started seeing all the missed calls. People were even blaming me that, I intentionally switched my phone. I didn't want to answer calls, but it's so bad. So once you provide these services for the people, and then you bring in a system now that is, digitized, okay, yes, we can work on this, but so all of these they just have to do with quality leadership. It's not just about bragging about them, talking about, how content creators in Liberia now, they're not making money from the contents. Do you know how many times they've cried on the government that they need their contents? Liberia should be a country that will be monetized, where content creators will be making money. But these things are not in place. They're not getting money. All the things they've been doing, all the contents they've been creating. If you don't set up your page in the US or in a country where, like Nigeria, look at Nigeria. Everybody, all the contents creators in Nigeria, they're making money. But in Liberia, where we're not making money, and then you're charging somebody $50 and what have you. How does this benefit these people? And this is why you see the bloggers, the content creators here, they're complaining now. So you can just come and impose on the people. Fire service too also joined the thing. You impose it on the people as if you are the custodian to everything. Whatever you say is the final. This is wrong. So your style of leadership will determine what the people, want. You can't just impose on the people. Let the people tell you, let the people be satisfied, be happy with what you're doing. Then we say, yes, okay, this is a quality leadership. We've seen a kind of a very good style of leadership from these people. But if you just do what you want to do because you are, then we're heading nowhere. You talk about CDC, Joshua. Yes, Liberians, and one of the things, Liberians always complain on is on Joshua, former president. He had come from the background of the soccer, of football, a footballing icon, right? Who played, and in 1995 he was able to win 4 awards just in 1995 in a single season. Yeah, and Liberians expected that soccer under George Weah would have improved. Uh, Sports under George Weah would have improved. There would have been Liberia. They thought Liberia would have gone to the African Cup, to World Cup, and so, but they did not see that from him. And so, in that light, they graded him with just they just gave him a very bad score. One of the factors that contributed to, yes, say that contributed. I think it has to be from the system. I'm not controlling it here. Yes. But let me see. 1 minute. It has to be. Uh, uh, so that's one of the things that contributed to Liberians, going against Joshua, and so there's belief that Joshua, you know, was not a typical Liberian politician. He was not a typical politician as grounded as former President Salif, uh, uh, um, former President Salif, and then President Boakai. Like politicians like Councillor Tewon Gonglo. And so he did not understand that much. But in soccer, he he should have done well for the country. They expected that. Well, beside the mini stadium, the way he tried, but beside the mini sports pitches, he constructed and built across the Monrovia here. But they thought that sports would have improved. The FA in Liberia would have been, prioritized, and these small our local leagues that would have been improved with much been done. Liberia would have gone far, would have done better in terms of sports, but they did not see it under Josh Weah, and so that's one of the reasons because and that they said, well, Josh Weah, we thought he could have done well, but he did not do it. So I mean, he should leave. All right, but they brought a president, a man who served for years in government, prior to his ascendancy as a vice president. He has served in government. He served in the agricultural sector as Minister of Agriculture, then under President Doe, and then, but they did not see much in terms of agriculture, in terms of growth. That agriculture will be booming now. That the country will, since rice is our staple, that the country will not, rely wholly and solely on the importation of rice, but our own locally made and produced rice in this country will be, one that everybody will look at and say, yes, let's eat from this. Let's prioritize our own economy. Let's invest into agriculture. Let's bring in more equipment. I mean, this government has the ability to bring in more equipment, more farming equipment, Joseph, more farming equipment, because if China, we can run to China. We run into China. Back then, I know former President Taylor, rest are coming from Taiwan. So we run into China, we run into India, depending on these countries, these foreign countries, for the importation of bulk of the rice we eat here. America, the rice, people bring in these American rice. Why not go to these Chinese, these are counterparts, these Asian counterparts, and say, well, since I mean, you're importing rice, we want to we want you to invest. Go for one of the companies over there. Bring in your equipment, your farming equipment, the tools. Come in and I mean, teach our people. Come and train our people here. We want to produce our own rice. We want to eat our locally made rice in this country. I mean, this government can do it. We have the resources to do that. Okay, the company will say, or the investors will say, all right, I'll do this, I'll give you this, then you give me that. It's a partner system. You give me, I give you. But if that is done, then I think we're making progress. Then we prioritizing agriculture. We think that the country will improve in terms of agriculture under President Baka. But it is the other way around. Everybody is prioritizing his or own farm. President Baka has his own farm, but Liberians are not benefiting from the farm that the president has. I saw one time we visited Bapulu, his rice farm, but the rice farm, how many Liberians are benefiting? How many Liberians are eating from the rice that he's making? Does he even eat his own rice? Does the president eat his own rice? Other leaders, the agriculture minister, Dr. Alexander Nuta, does he have a farm? If he has a farm, where is the farm? How many times have we seen his farm on the social media? What has he been doing? Lofa County, that is the bread basket of Liberia. What has happened to Lofa now? Because then it was the bread basket where things were coming from. Most of our produce were coming from. But where is Liberia in terms of agriculture? So many of these questions will be asked. Liberians will continue to ask these questions because they believe that President Bwakai is, an agriculturally oriented character. So they believe that this country should be done by now, improving. Agriculture should be improving under President Bwakai. Joseph.
Yeah, Jefferson, thank you for that splendid conversation. We'll now move on to tourism.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to discuss tourism. This government spoke a lot about tourism, that it will invest into tourism. But since it took over, we have not seen any job creation in the tourism sector. Unless they are trying to impose weight on the ordinary Liberians who are struggling to survive, like the petitions. That a lot of people that are struggling with those small businesses along the road, those small shops along the road. They are trying to impose taxes on them. I don't think it might be a good thing, but it's not timely because the tourist sector have to tell the people, make the people to understand their benefit. You understand?
Yep.
Yeah, they have to make the people to understand what will be their benefit, if how are they going to benefit, because you will not just jump from the blue sky because you want to raise funds and just say, oh yeah, all every barber in the country, we pay tax, or every barber shop in the country will pay tax, every beauty salon will pay tax, and your tax will be like 100, 250 based on your business structure, all of that. So it makes no sense. Actually, it makes no sense, Jefferson.
Now, talking about tourism, let me just read you what some of these content creators are saying about this recent I want to call it caricature or self-imposed and some kind of what they call fees, so-called fees being imposed on these content creators. Now, listen to what Mama Liberia wrote. Liberia National Tourism Authority say content creators should pay $50 per year. Now, he said, me paying the $50 per year is not anything, but here are a few questions I would like for them to answer. One, What exactly do content creators and musicians get in return for paying these fees?
Sure.
What do they get in return if they pay the $50 per year? What do they get in return?
Where they stand again?
Liberia benefiting from any content like the creators? Are they being monetized? That's number one. That's number one question. Two is there a clear benefits package like promotion, grants, training, access to events? Because on a serious note, by right in this country, all the companies you see in Liberia, these content creators should be ambassadors for these companies. They should be brand ambassadors. But look at that's the, for example, Winners, Starbet, One Airbet. What you see, Davido, you see other people, foreigners, foreign content creators are the ones promoting these businesses that we have in Liberia, even though they're in Liberia. And sometimes the songs they're not using Liberian songs.
Yeah.
They're using foreign music. They will use the video song. They will use Omale songs. They will use Bonabo. They use Timaya. Then you get KCW. You get Kobasi.
No,
You get CRC.
Yeah, you're not using none of the songs.
You all the Liberians. You get SRO. Just King Dennis, Teddy Ra. Just name even these local artists that are coming up. The one that we call the underdogs, the upcoming artists. Yeah, the Calvin Tino, J Bobo, all these, local artists. Bring them up, but they're not doing it. They will take foreign artists and put them on their billboards, right?
Sure.
Then look at number 3. He said, "How will this fee increase our income or visibility?" How will the $50? 4, he said, "How can you charge creators when Liberia is not yet fully monitored on platforms like Facebook, YouTube, or TikTok?" How? If a content creator just went live on Facebook, he didn't do a pre-recorded video, to post it. He went live. After 30 days, Facebook will delete his video. Oh yes,
Yeah.
Facebook will delete the video.
Yeah.
All these live videos you see on even we in studio here, all these things, the only time you see them if you go to YouTube. But Facebook, we live now on Facebook. After 30 days, Facebook will delete them. I bet you, we started this LIB Future TV on the 2nd of March. If you just wanted the first edition, March 2nd, you'll not see it on Facebook. You'll not see it. The only place you see it is on YouTube. YouTube will keep it. So what we normally do, you just download the video and keep it.
Yeah.
That's what Facebook will tell you. The invite will remind you that your video you did March 2nd, 2026 will be,
It's trying to
lost.
it will be expired.
So you either download it.
Yeah.
What is that? He went on to say, what steps are you taking with telecom regulators or global platforms to enable monetization first? The content creators, they've cried. One time I heard telecom, sometimes when I see some of these Unity Party guys, they making some mockery, they posting, it's all out of making mockery out of these content creators. Like, Starling, what's it, Starling? Yeah, Starling is coming in LTA. In fact, very soon, your content creators, will start getting money from their contents to be monetized. You know how long now they've gone. And then, what do they say? Will creators start earning before or after paying these fees? Are struggling creators charged the same flat rate regardless of income level? It's a good question.
Yeah.
Good question. There are some content creators, they just started. They have, for example, 8,000 followers. And then there are other content creators who have 250,000 followers.
Yeah.
Are they going to pay the same?
Yeah.
So this is what we talk about. When we talk about quality leadership, this is it, Joseph.
Yeah.
You just say things. You put anything, you say, they want like this, they want like this. You just do it because it's just It is just the other way. So this is the Unity Party government telling the content creators, how will you say pay $50 when other people, you won't get no demarcation, no description? Who will pay the $50? You say everybody. I mean, it's just so sickening. It is sickening. It is frustrating. It is so. Look, you want to prove to the president that you're working. That's not how to prove to the president you're working. There are too many things the tourism authority has to do. Them to just come and wake up with this thing. I don't know who advised them. Where did they get this one from? They just brought it out with no awareness, no in fact prior notice.
Yeah, they should have notified.
Have a dialogue meeting with content creators. Tell them what is coming.
I mean,
in the
days. The entire body that had to do with or tourism, they needed to be a light.
Yeah,
on this at the negative.
Yeah.
Or Jefferson, yes, because we before we go into the core segment, because
let me just clarify on this.
No, we're not just jumping into the core segment. I want to digest a few talking points before, because we have 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Within the core. So what all need to need to be discussed. We can within the core time.
Go ahead.
Yeah. That had to do with the segment 2 of this show. Representative Fogo said Gregory Coleman forged a deed to get land in his district, and then he pepper sprayed him and threatened his life. Lawlessness and corruption, all the demolitions going on, and the not building housing units. You are demolishing people's homes and not building units for them, at least to try to compensate them with in the meantime you can y'all can be here with demolish the place, but within the meantime y'all can be here until you can get back on your feet and all of that. Lawlessness and corruption is skyrocketing. Josiah Jota.
Yeah, the CSA boss.
The CSA boss. Making civil servants to sign NDA. This is lawlessness. A breakdown of rule of law in the country and against freedom of speech. What we are heading, library. Where are we heading? Because if you find everybody like want to show their own their strength, that they are in power, so it just don't make any sense. Civil servants are underpaid. They are the minimum wage of a civil service is far below. You're not even trying to improve the life of your citizens. You as a governor, before we can dive into the private sector, where you say, oh yeah, we tell the private, the private company and things to pay our citizens XYZ. But you, the father of your house, you're not giving your children proper meal. That stranger you expect to give them cool meal, it won't work. They treat you exactly. They treat your children exactly the way they see you treat them. So, Geraldine, you can continue the discussion, but then before you can continue,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want you to open the lines, because we have the first 20 minutes of call. Within that time, we got a clip to play. Yeah. And then,
so fellow Librarians, you're listening to us. This is LIB Future TV right here on 95.9 Kia Radio. It's time that we interact with you on this segment. We've highlighted a couple of issues on the radio. We talk about the quality of leadership, the Unity Party government under President Joseph Boakai. We talk about former President George Weah's leadership as well. He who owed to the fact that he came from a footballing background, but sports under his leadership was not prioritized, and of course, he was not a seasoned typical Liberian politician. And we also talked about President Boakai Terrier in office as well. Terrier in office as well. There's been corruption and other people. Before we go to that, we're going to take this short break. We will take this very short break. We'll come back, yes, then we'll take calls. So just hold your calls. I see your calls coming already, but let's go for this break and be right back. Let's go for the short break and be right back. Let's go for this break quickly and try to get this video on. Then we'll be right back. Stay there. Don't you go away. Just hold your course. We are taking this break to be right back.
At the University of Liberia campus, where we'll be speaking to a wide range of national issues as it relates to the Cummins in Africa Foundation. And Mr. Edizana B. Cummins have been donating computers, chairs, several other things to school across the country. And today we are here at the University of Liberia campus, and we'll be speaking to this student. Good evening, and what is your name, sir?
My name is Emmanuel T. Bondo.
Emmanuel T. Bondo, welcome to the program. Have your say. And Emmanuel, we'll be speaking with you shortly on the Cummins Africa Foundation, and we will run strictly into a few questions. What difference has it made to students all over Liberia learning that Mr. Cummins is donating things in terms of educational materials? What difference?
Well, the donation of Mr. Cummins Foundation to students, community within the landscape of Liberia is very massive. Like from 2017 to currently, Mr. Cummins had donated or offered a scholarship of over 100 students at approximately a amount of 120,000 cost. So the impact there is very massive that we can see, and students and youngsters, youth of this country are being transformed through the foundation of Mr. Cummins' effort towards education. Of recent, Mr. Cummins also donated 350K VA machine to the Booker Washington Institute, that is BWR, which costs 67,000. So looking at all these efforts to students and the educational community of our youth and young people of Liberia, we do value it, we do welcome Mr. Cummins' efforts on a very serious note. And I could recall Mr. Cummins also donated 5.2 million to the Nima County Committee for a construction of a science and engineering department, 5.2 million worth.
Wow.
Which Mr. Cummins did. So, if our great Mr. Cummins, on his impact and effort towards the education and empowerment of youth to impact humanity in this country, I would grade 10 over 10 on a very serious note.
So somebody may ask, how will you describe the difference the Cummins Africa Foundation is making for students at UL, Stella Marie, STEM Institute, and for small businesses receiving loan?
Well, the impact and the difference are obviously important, because here's the difference, where there are many people out there who are less privileged or who don't have the financial ability to afford in sending their children to this prestigious university. So here's the difference now. Those parents don't have that financial ability to send their children.
Okay.
Then right there, Mr. Kumi come in to set the boundary and make the difference. He said, no, your children or child cannot be sitting home as a statement and humanitarian for which my foundation, through me, is offering scholarship and they be sitting home. No. He deemed it necessary to sponsor those children to make a difference in their life, to at least empower them as well for the future tomorrow. And on the other hand, the difference is not only locally, it's also nationally.
Okay.
It makes impact on the illiteracy of the country. If I can recall, when I last checked, I noticed that Liberia, literacy has improved after our post-conflict war, after 14 years, for which were below the maximum percent of 50. But yes, like we see now, we are a little bit improved. We are approximately, if I can recall, 50-point-something%. So Mr. Kumi Foundation is also impacting to increase the literacy of our country.
Okay, so lastly from my end, how do you assess Alexander Kumi as a servant leader based on this intervention, and what impact have you seen on beneficiary?
Why? The impact on beneficiary is very simple. It's not something that we need rocket scientists to detect or determine. One, you are a male high school graduate. Mr. Kumi comes in, took you from that stage, carry you to the University of Liberia, or your higher learning, and you graduate or graduated with a BSc. That's a big difference. Like you see, or you can see on the beneficiaries. And Mr. Kumi impact obviously is very good, like we are seeing currently. So I think Mr. Kumi has a statement or public servant or private servant, let's say, because he's not working in a public space yet or working in a public space. So his impact is very massive, honestly. We'll continue to appreciate him, all of what he is doing.
So you say your name again?
My name is Emmanuel T. Bono.
Emmanuel T. Bono. It was nice talking to you, and thank you for speaking with us.
Okay, so yes, it was just a brief interview there with a student at the University of Liberia, uh, giving his own assessment on Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings, his support to education, his contribution, as a matter of fact, in improving, the education sector, what he's done, in fact, what he would do. Yeah, Joseph, you want to weigh in before we go to the lines?
Well, the student there at the University of Liberia, he could not speak any more than what he has said. He definitely acknowledged the importance of Alexander Cummings Africa Foundation, how it has impact the lives of many Liberians across the country. So it is clear that Alexander B. Cummings, that question actually it goes to those who always ask what this man have done. He just want to jump out and even become president. What have he done for the country? But you have heard some of the things he has done. It's obvious that he have not built. Maybe you will say, oh yeah, maybe he go build market, did that, XYZ and things like that. There are a lot of things he have done that have impacted the lives of many Liberians in this country. And it will speak. Or or one motivational speaker once said that if you take 2 hours to tell a congregation about what you have done nothing. Let what you have done speak for you. That is what happened in there. Yes. It is not, it is another community speaking there. It is a student of the University of Liberia speaking. So Jefferson can take the course.
Yes, exactly. So we take course. This is what every Liberian will desire: quality education, owing to the fact that the economy, the sector is struggling, is crippling on a daily basis. Since Madam Salif, former President Salif, termed the sector as a messy one, we hope that it will improve. And Mr. Cummings has vowed to improve the sector. 0777 959 959 0777 959 959 0889 283938 0889 283938 plus 231 777 959 959. You listen to all of the couple of issues we talked about here. We just highlighted. You can also make your point this evening or this afternoon, wherever you're watching from, if you're in the diaspora in the US. And we talk about the tourism. We've highlighted President Boaka's leadership. Is it a quality one? Do you see the leadership of the Unity Party under Joseph Boaka as a quality one? Former President George Weah, who came from a footballing background, Liberian believes that he did not do well, but also he was not a political material. Politically, he was not inclined. And also, JMB is still yet in office. Corruption is across. What can you say so far? And then the national tourism, with content creators not benefiting anything, not getting anything from all the contents they've been creating. Now $50 per year, per annum. Every year they must pay $50. Is a fee that has been charged. And so let's hear you now out there on 0777 959 959 0777 959 959 0889 What are your contributions? What do you make of all of these talking points this morning?
This evening.
This I said this morning, right?
Yeah.
I'm used to the morning. Yeah. So this evening, what do you make of the talking points this evening? You listen to. We also read you what Mama Liberia, a content creator, and a Liberian comedian, wrote. Let's go to the lines and begin to take your course. Number one, Edward Shannon. Good morning, Edward.
Good evening, brother.
Oh, man, I'm used to the morning. Good evening.
Yeah, that's true. You see, my brother, I listen to the 0.2 people talk on, but what have really caught my attention when it comes to the former manner, the Unity Party ruling the establishment, the government is proceeding. Yeah, they're doing one or two good, but they are not. They are not doing well. Let's be realistic, because like I listened to the news today. What I heard is completely astonishing to me, because the United Party came on the mantra of rescue, and I'm one of those that really supported this government on all the radio stations, verify the previous regime. But for what I'm seeing, it's almost like a bunch of ministers that are very insensitive to the plight of the Liberian people. Because if you're coming up with these zero taxes, I heard how they're coming they're coming to start levying taxes and where have you. If you want to levy taxes, I'm not an economist, but if you want to levy taxes, the first thing you should do, you should go back to the ways the West built. Because you're not only doing it for government employees. But you're looking at the wage bill. How much is the lease? If you say 43, you tell it to think at 170. Then you say, okay, let's levy the taxes, because if the guy work with company, he still makes the money. If you work with other group government, you still make the money. But you look at nothing. You just come up and start to increase prices. What are you doing? It's that, look, my brother, the economic condition in this country is very harsh. It's very harsh. I work for government. I'm a classroom teacher. It's very, very harsh. So the government is not doing well, and I just hope that Joe Bucker is listening to the thing. They came to rescue. You cannot be putting us followed down into poverty and telling us that you came to rescue us and you expect us to be blind learning. Some of us will remain independent and will not sell our conscience to anybody. Liberia can fight. So what he's doing, they need to look at it. They are not doing well at all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Edward. 077-959-959. I'm just looking at what Master. But let's take more calls. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. This is Duke 20. I'm calling from R2 Baofi Highway.
Welcome, Duke.
Well, I'm so glad for the topic this evening. You see, that is why some of us have problem with the older people. Our older people are the ones that damaging our country. They say we the youth, we don't make sound decisions. They are the ones that make the sound decision. They brought Edding destroy our country. We stood up, we brought Joshua. He tried to make things happen. They say that was youthful government. Then they brought old people, old person. They said a young man, the man is got wisdom, he's an older man. Now you see where we are leading to. They see that when we the young people make our decision, it's immature. We don't have sense. Then we give them the chance to make their own decision, see where it's heading us to. But I thank God so much that the rain that is falling is not only falling on the young people alone. It's falling on the older folks. The regrettable part is that it will be falling on them, some of them will enter in the grave. They will enter in the grave with that kind of regret in them. See how they are. The people told us that they squander our opportunity. They say, oh, you people sit down there. You're not getting, you're just coming, you have not explained nothing. Now we show us the same we have not explained nothing. The spirit will your come. Look at them now. Why are they crying? The father was just dropped the land. He should not say they came to rescue. Say, we came to rescue because you are part of the rescue thing. So he shouldn't move himself. Say, we came to rescue because he was part of the rescue thing. So we have a long way. So we have the expectation. Our mind was made up that these people are not going to do anything. So whatever they do, we will not see it because we already knew what's going to happen. But they don't know why was going to happen. So they're going to do the crime more.
Thank you.
Because for us, we are aware. We are aware. One thing about life, anything you are aware of, you know the proportion of it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
You live. Let's hear you.
Okay, I'm very excited to LIB Future TV and in collaboration with TCM TV. Thank you for the show tonight. At least all of Liberians will get to know whether this government is doing well or not. Okay, I'm Mohammed T. Samuel, calling from Ravos City, Grand Cape County.
Welcome, Mohammed.
Okay, today we see our oldest people in this country passing around complaining, oh, the government is hard, the government is not doing nothing, but they are the one who put us into difficult time today. And the guy was saying, just what one police just said. The guy was saying, they say, rain does not fall on one roof alone. This rain that falling today is beating everyone, or whether you are young, whether you are old, what this government is doing to Liberians is falling on everybody. So we just want for our brother and sister to know also there that this government is not doing nothing. But you still hear some of them saying that, oh, at least the government is trying, the government is trying. Do you voted them to try? That's the reason you voted them to try. What they call themselves rescue mission, they say they came to rescue. But in the process of them rescuing, or they have not even accomplished 1% of their mission.
Okay.
1% they have not accomplished. So we just want to let the Liberian people know, come to the now, is Mr. Cummings time. Let's try Mr. Cummings.
Okay. And you think Mr. Cummings can change? Mr. Cummings can change the narrative?
He can bring a change in this country. He can change Liberia, this country, Liberia. Because he has leadership ability.
Do you believe that Mr. Cummings can improve education under his leadership?
Exactly. Mr. Cummings has leadership ability. If that man.
Oh, too bad we lost Mohammed there from Cape Mount. Too bad. Good evening.
Hello?
You live? Your name and where you call from?
Yeah, it's Mohammed is Jerry calling from Lopitan, district number 15.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank God some people trying to understand the world's politics. That means that you almost looking at someone who's trying to look for something to eat. Because the world rescue, the broken the rescue, and nothing for. Look at the roads there, the project. When you spray about poor and they have less than, I think, about 2 years now. You want to tell me in that 2 years, it will be able to defend the road. Then they start. They can even say wherever they look at the quota, every day they do different people. So while they go in the rescue of now, we don't rescue the people. So the Liberian people who breaking you're open your eye. You're open your eye. Some do your photo be like you get right, make your choice for the rifle person, but it's about Ghana or sorry for that one in that door.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
You're live. Let's hear you.
Well, thank you for the unique conversation this afternoon. Well, my name is Mohammed Donzo Fana Jr. Well, I joined your unique conversation from the Japan Freeway.
Okay.
Well, I want to appreciate you guys for your talking point this evening. Well, my intention is to join on to the, to this government, leadership.
Oh, too bad. We lost Donzo there. We hope he calls back and make his point. Man Sisi, welcome.
Hi, Dio, Makere.
Man Sisi, okay, the chicken feed there?
Yes.
The chicken feed there?
The chicken feed there, they know the chief just tell me here. I want to eat tonight.
You did the chief just there?
Yeah, chief just say, no chicken feed now. Or the only for chicken feed, only for like a chicken feed.
Okay.
The whole week, that chief just say,
let's hear you, man.
with the ABC, what the rest of.
ABC, yeah?
Yeah, the rest of ABC.
Okay.
They were scaring the around about video call.
Let's hear you, man. Go ahead.
Okay, let me say my son in the damn car about dollar. No, you're saying all. We want cheese, right? And the cheese will come. Walk out over the brother cheese. I will complain my son. That worker do the cheese. Because they told us to bring cheese. I want to follow people around who are propagating lies around. They care the person they do they want to do that. So they rescue in their own pocket. They enjoying the country while the whole country is suffering. Even a few men and women, Soko and Soki enjoying the country. That was saying they get it back. But they call them Soko and Soki government. Well, they're not going to rescue anything. While saying that can make my word because they thought we are Soko. So I call them Soki and Soko. They eat out today. When they keep them rescuing, they say, oh, and we are there. They say, no. And what you call change, my son? When you keep change, but don't say we are there. So when you say we have a move for them, they brought you. In power. You say, we are right. I know about the car today. You know, you say, we are today. They carry it to white. They told me, don't you carry it to America today. You're not running castle for please. So the change will come, my brother. They say, okay, Mama, they say, you will not sleep. But so don't boss the program, you boss the people flat, but don't start people say. Who say the same, I will not cry, my son. When what program will have to make let's see too. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Nice to see from the community. We call it Lady Yeke. 0777959 959 0777959 959 0881 871670. Mohammed is back on the line. Mohammed, you went off.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Well, I was saying that this government leadership, I think Kerouac had they are proceeding because this man served under Ellen Johnson Sirleaf as vice president. I don't think he really he was focused on this job because his leadership we can't really understand the man leadership. Everything is just that's about outside down. Really, I can't understand. The country is very hard to be specific in it. Let me say this truth. The country is hard. Those are I used to give me hand out. These days you go to them. They always cry. I say, what is happening?
Oh yeah.
People. People that used to help people. You go to them. They're crying. Then what's about you now? What's about you that can't afford now? What really happened to you?
You have to manage your expectation, Mohammed. You have to manage your expectation.
Yeah, like what I said, I'm not gonna say, but really, I don't think that Mr. Boakai can really, for 2029, this country, something really happen. But I'm discussing Kumi. You guys are pushing for Kumi. I love the way pushing for Kumi, but for Kumi to come to the presidency, let me be frank with you guys. Let him emerge with the CDP. After the 2029, and then we can keep him up to serve our country because he's coming with a good leadership ability. What you guys are discussing about him, So thank you guys for the show.
Thank you, Tonso. Thank you. 777-959-959. I just came across, and while we're talking about tourism, I may mention, but let me take this call. Let me go back to the line. Good evening.
Yeah, my brother. I'm John calling you from Poor.
John from Poor River. Go ahead. From Bernard Benson Blue District.
Yeah.
Yes.
My brother, today our party will vote for the United Party. Actually, we are disappointed in the leadership.
In just 3 years?
We're going far, man. We're going far. We are disappointed in the leadership. You see, the child that the seeds that you can plant when it will germinate, you will tell from the sound. Okay. Our fear here is actually the people, if today they are coming to tell us that Kubu seller and all should be paying tax in this country, we shall show our taxpayer money that we bring it in this country. We are not seeing any betterment for the citizens. Only government officials enjoy it. We fear that the president with this kind of experience, long experience, we're going to come in power to change some things like representative, my people, you come to the table. Our people suffering. These are things that are suffering our people. The 45,000 car we are using is too much. Let us accept 15,000 car at least. If that money we can put it in government cover to do some development with it to improve the people's life. You are the executive. I don't care how it goes around. Yeah. They must listen to you. The legislature must listen to you.
Exactly.
If they say they will rise, against you, then you send them to the people that voted for them, tell them that what I want to do. Your people say no. Then we ourselves will raise against them. Then we'll see how far the country will go. The president want to go for us, then lawmaker you say no. Then we ourselves will wake up. But you, the president, with a kind of long experience, then you follow the same old drum that we've been beating that you are talking against, making us to bring you back on board. You're not thinking on those kind of things. Then today you're telling her you want to sell and all the be paying tax, hair, Baba, the carbon shot, the be paying tax. Where the money going? People have no fear, but you know what I gotta tell you?
No.
We pray to God to see 2029. I voted for the people, now I alone. People voted for them. But Labron people will make up their mind. Labron make out a notion. Labron make can live it up to the sky. And when you fail the commitment, when they move on, you will fall down. That's how we look like. So 2029 come and see. But the fear here is the people got a hating agenda. The people will not be peaceful like we are there. The people want to have that election. Take it from me, my word, 2029.
Okay. Thank you. That will not happen because the war is watching. I know the Unity Party will now want to go that route, or to the fact that Georgia left peacefully with just a little margin or something 17,000, 20,000 votes. Little.
80,000 votes.
Yeah, so I know the Unity Party will not want to, even if they have 15,000 that is above them with the party that will win, the candidate that will win, they will not want to do that. Yeah. So this is what Master Queen just wrote on this tourism something. You know, when I just told you that prior, they should have had conversation with these people, right? Before you even come to talk about do awareness before you do it, before you talk about imposing, or coming up with this arrangement or these funds. She said, when I was invited to a meeting called by Liberia National Tourism Authority alongside other entertainment personalities, I raised this issue during the meeting. We have companies in Liberia using foreign faces on billboards while local artists and content creators are sidelined. The same companies use foreign music in their radio and TV advertisements instead of supporting Liberian talent. It often feels like a deliberate effort to prevent local creatives from benefiting. These are the issues that should be addressed first. What exactly are the benefits of these proposed payments? And what are we even licensing? How does this system support the people it's targeting? You're asking entertainers to pay fees to the government in a country where the industry isn't even properly monitored yet. How is that fair? At this point, it just feels like unnecessary pressure from the government. Exactly.
Yeah.
Unnecessary pressure. The people are not making money. I just said it.
Jefferson, we have a clip that need to be played.
Yeah, certainly. So we'll take this break shortly, folks. Let's go for this break and we'll be right back. Let's take this break quickly and be right back. Yes, let's go for this short break. Let me get it set. Let's go for the short break and be right back, folks. This is it, LIB Future TV here on 95.9. Let's
as it relates to the government promises to the Liberian people during the campaign. And here,
thank you.
Okay. Illinois today editions will be speaking on a few issues as it relates to government promises before campaign, and I would like to drill you into a few questions. And my first question has to do with many Liberian people say the Boakakun government hasn't fully delivered on campaign promises made to the Liberian people. Where do you see the bigger gap and why?
The bigger gap is, well, it's true that what others say in campaign, that most of it haven't been fulfilled. Where you come to jobs, like giving the youth jobs. But nowadays there is no job. You have to know someone in a system before they help you. Or probably if you even know somebody in a system, they'll have to drill you one way or the other. Things that you don't want to do, they will want you to do it. So for the job aspect, there is no job. For youth, for adult, no job. Coming to the educational sector, for public schools, I don't know about private schools, but for public schools, right here, GW Gibson, Tottenham High, they are finding it difficult to their learning facility in where the places where they are learning, no seats, no comfortable area. And we know that for learning, we have to get a comfortable area that includes your classroom, how you stage your classroom, your teachers being on payroll and all of that. But we are getting news that teachers are on strike. People are going on strike because there is no pay.
So, yeah, thank you. And how will you rate the administration performance in terms of jobs, health, education, agriculture, and the border economy?
I would say 60%. And we all know in Liberia, we are not creating from Ghana or Nigeria to say 60% is a passing rate. But in Liberia, 60% is a failing rate. So our government is performing very, very poor. There is no job, no goods. We go to a hospital nowadays, no trucks. You have to write it on paper for you to go to the federal drugstore, which of course they themselves own the drugstores that they will send you to go and get your medicine. And then roads, infrastructure, nothing like that. So it's very, very poor, 60% for my own rate.
So in your view, has the government failed the Liberian people, or is it making progress on difficult circumstances?
Well, for now, we cannot say the feeling because they are still in government. They still have time. So for the few time left, I'm sure they can double up the game. They can step up the game. So these are the places they need. Let's say they are really working when it comes to LDC. You find it that LDC is becoming stable. They are fighting their best, but the other state their best is not enough. So they should step up the game.
So lastly, if you will have to rate the government overall performance, what will it be and why?
Like I said, in rating the government, I give them 60% because they are fighting to do it. They are trying their best, but their best is not really, really best. They have to step up the game in our economic sector, in our education, our health, and in a whole lot of things. They are trying, but they aren't still. There are few people seeing it, but nationwide people aren't seeing it. For the roads, they are trying with the roads, they are trying with LDC, but for our education sector, which is more important, our health and our agricultural sector, at places they haven't touched it. So I would like for them to touch it in my own sense.
So you say your name again?
Eleanor Ara Howard.
Eleanor, it was nice talking to you on the program. Have your say.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, that's the voice of Helen Hour, a student at the University of Liberia, expressing her opinion as it relates to government promise.
Yes, that's it. You listen to a lady, the female student at the University of Liberia, and these conversations they have basically is centered around education, and they came. She believes that okay, for her, yes, they've now failed. She believes that the government can do well, but how would the government do well if the government is not prioritizing education? Look at the University of Liberia.
Yeah.
That where she attends. So if more emphasis, have been placed on these institutions and what have you, then we say yes. But let's take some calls. This person, welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening. Yes, your name and where you call from?
I call for attention. I was for my name. I'm being Uli Kamara.
Let's hear you, Mabi.
Yes. To my talking point, thank you very much tonight for the show. I agree there. But the talking point of my side, the people are pressing a government is not working nothing. The government not working hard. Our common sweeper in the government put me down. They say I go work on your back. They know go over. They say they will get our salary. We work for 8 months. Our money like they will will tire. They say you can't reveal normal. I say, but our normal now you know in the database. So our money will come. So to now they pay all at the state today. People on air, the person the government is doing the best university college and we get more students that are going to college. They are not benefiting, it's complaining. How the tuition looking, they're complaining. There's someone that start talking and say the government doing well, they're building road, they're doing the one, the health center, all that one. Going for medicine, they feel that my sister got sick, got killed to hospital. They charge me for test $100 US. I pay. After I finish pay, they say go in the pharmacy for the medicine. When I went to the pharmacy, that never received medicine in the pharmacy. I had to go lock a pharmacy. I pay, I go buy the drug. $100 US again to buy the drugs for it. Let's say a person the government not doing well. It's damaging the country because now they're talking about changing money because they're stealing. They want allies stealing up. They just damaging the country. They must stop pressing a particular government. The government, the people are put in there. They are still crying before we. And we will not crying because we not get. But we crying because of how the country is going down. And you will say paper cars, Osela, you will pay tax. Bobo, 2 cold spoon, you will pay tax. People there today, you go buy food from there, they say, oh, you're coming to be buying soup. When you buy the red, you buy the soup. The house go in the country. Then somebody say, somebody say, call me a stable. Nana say in my room, I call you. Nana no call me go 3 times. After that, no call me. Then they say call me available. What they must be lying for? Because red press come and go up. Then they must be lying, transportation up. When you come for a Nana, we need to move from West Point, we go Biafranas. We pay $50. Nana we pay $70. Support taking it for $100. What they must be lying for? They must start lying. Let the potential behind the government. Let the government start doing better. That all will benefit. If you are related in the government working, or you are related to Joseph Newman Bwakai, you should not praise him. Tell Bwakai is the thing that you doing in the country a bar. You should not praise Bwakai. The country is suffering. Thank you, Papa.
Thank you, Mama.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. Good evening.
Hello.
Bako.
Yeah, they Bako and United Party Relation Bureau.
Welcome, Mama.
Thank you so much to my care family. Lord, the country, some of the Liberian people are now understanding.
Why you understand Liberian people? Some Liberian people, why?
Thank you so much. We criticize too much. Too much. It's not good.
But ain't you criticizing too?
So if I care, you go care too.
Oh, okay.
If I care, somebody go care.
No, because you like it.
If I see, you go see. Yeah, the man was saying Buga. The man was showing here to be the man go in the chat to get to talk to people. The man have to go in the country where the country is wrong. That's what I run the country. Nobody in the queue, the middle year fighting, thank God I see fire now. But nobody in the queue, nobody's a free for the rest. I will criticize too much. Now the wild feed the man left and they come and pay. They come and do blender water, they have water spoon to them. So in the corner of Penta, you come and revenue again. They cannot air. You can catch people go to the chapel and transfer in our place. The people go to the chapel and transfer. Some water will station. Everything must be free. I'll come and general phone. I'll come and work out be paid. We pay us too much.
Thank you.
We should need that thing.
Let's take this last person. We're almost out of time. Good evening.
Yeah, I can see on my own now. Yes. Kumi the best, Kumi can try. From day one, Kumi selling something, Coca-Cola. What you do for Liberian people? Somebody was playing football. He did better for Liberian people. They benefit in today. Then Kumi was saying, you tell what resources he carry in America, he said that he tell that he come back for election. Kumi was not done. One Baka in the race. Kumi in the race. Nobody there. I will not register and I will not vote. That is stay. I will only like that. I will go to my card. I can't let that in room. I will not vote. Why you need it? Now Kumi not getting power here. Now they show my in there. Then when Kumi can back. Everybody, will not stop Kumi. Will not Kumi. I better vote for what? Musa Bete. I forgot for Musa Bete.
Thank you. We're out of time. I know Anglo is coming.
Yeah.
This is what happens, in a country when the people are frustrated with the government, when the right things are not being done.
Yeah.
So they always, express their dissatisfaction or disappointment in whatever manner. So it left with these political parties to meet with these people, convince them, talk to them, and give them hope of, a better leadership.
Yes.
So we have time. It's 9 o'clock. Let's hear from you quickly.
Well, we have said what we had to say. It's up to you to make a change. Move on from 5 to 6 and help Cummings to fix this country. It is Joseph Coleman. See you next Wednesday.
And my name is Jefferson Perry. It has been a wonderful show here. Until then, tomorrow again we'll be here with another presentation. Tomorrow is the primetime edition with Dr. Pearson will be here. Until then, have yourselves a blessed day. Next on this radio is God's Word Still Works with Prophet Pastor Gerald Cummings. Keep listening to 95.9. All right.
LIB, stand up. Take me back to Liberia, where the drums still play my song. Take me back to my homeland. It's the place where I belong.
LIB Future TV, giving voice to progressive Liberians, speaking about politics, entertainment, and local news.